What up, y'all? DCFAYGOGUY. Today we are taking a look at the incredible collectible collection that is worthy of an erection. The Gathering exclusive. I'm not sure if they plan on releasing it at any other point. I don't know if it's going to be like at the Malenko. I don't know if they plan on putting it on Hatchet Gear, aka Psychopathic merch. But as of right now, this is a Gathering, or was a Gathering exclusive release. And honestly, guys, it's Forgotten Freshness Volume 6. Maybe if you want to say Forgotten Freshness Volume 6 and 7. Kind of like the original, or not the original, but the first Forgotten Freshness that got re-released into a 2-disc set. That was Volume 1 and 2. This basically could be Volume 6 and 7 easily. I was, when I saw it, like everybody else that didn't go to the Gathering, I saw it, immediately hit up everybody that I knew that was at the Gathering. And, you know, Shanzi was one of them that I hit up. I hit up Scotty D. I hit up Mr. McInhose. I believe I hit up Mr. McInhose about this one. Anyway, Scotty D was the first one to get back to me. Shanzi got back to me once he got home. He took a picture, sent it to me. Hey, I snagged this for you. But by the time that Shanzi had already told me he had his, I'd already hooked up with Scotty D to pay him for the copy he got for me. So I told Shanzi to hook up Coma Black. So shout out to both Scotty D and Shanzi, because, you know, Shanzi did hook me up, but I was already hooked up, so passed on the freshness, or had him pass on the freshness to Coma Black. Anyway, let's jump into this. Again, this easily could be Forgotten Freshness Volume 6 and 7. The reason I say 7 is because, you know, they're sticking with the whole Heavenly Beam 17 theme. So, I mean, if they want to go to that number, you know, if they want to jump to 7, then they could. But basically, it's Forgotten Freshness Volume 6 all the way. Like I said, worthy of an erection. That literally is the subtitle to the album. So I'm going to try not to take too much time rambling, because we got a lot to talk about with these tracks. There is the spine. Cool. There's the back with the track list. The track list is Saucy, Are You Wicked, Something Underground, Knock Knock, Bloody, Chop Chop, Tour Bus, Dirty and Stinkin', I'm Dead, Fuck Dem, Ice Cold, No Drama, jumping over to Disc 2, Juggalo Chant, Black Blizzard, Ask You Something, Drinking and Driving, Spinning, Swinging Hatchets, Jay's Rock Track, The Train, Cream Fillin', JJ Song, Ruby Song, and Hurricane of Diamonds. So real quick before I jump into the tracks that I like, I'm going to take the songs on here that I've A, heard before, and B, have been released in a previous physical form. Not internet, physical form. So if it's been on Forgotten Freshness before, if it's been on any kind of a CD release, even if it's a single, I'm going to mention those real quick, and we're not even going to talk about them as favorite tracks, because chances are I've already talked about them in a previous review. So, Are You Wicked was the Pendulum issue number 10. That was the single that came with it, was Are You Wicked. Knock Knock, hang on a second, I gotta think about this. Knock Knock, I'm Dead, Ice Cold, Spinning, and that's it. Yeah, those tracks right there, those were the rough draft of Violent J's The Shining. Not really sure why they put them on here, especially Knock Knock, because Knock Knock actually made it to the final Shining release, but those are on here. They were previously released on that CD. The Fuck Dem featuring Mars, that was actually off of a 98, 97 sampler that they put out, maybe 99, I'm not sure. I remember CPN mentioning it in the past, and I actually looked up the song then and listened to it. It's now on here, but it has been previously released in the past. I will kind of talk about that because I haven't done a review for it, but it has been previously released, but I like it. We'll get back to that. No Drama was actually released this year as a single. Again, I haven't listened to it until this CD, so we will mention it in this. The Juggalo Chant is off of the 6th sampler, so you can, if you haven't heard that, I'm sure everybody has. I mean, that's that classic fucking, you know, when you went to InsaneClownPosse.com back in 2002, 2003, man, had that Wraith hand that twirled like this when you entered this site. We will never die alone. That was the first place I ever heard that song. Loved it. Ask You Something was on the original Forgotten Freshness that was released back in 95. I believe it was 95. So, let's see what else was there. That's it. I believe everything else is new to this CD in a physical release. If I am incorrect in that, correct me in the comments down below, but I believe that is everything. So we're going to talk about Saucy, Something Underground, Bloody, Tour Bus, Chop Chop OG Mix, Dirty and Stinkin' Rock Remix, which actually, more than likely, this has been released previously because it's actually an ODB featuring ICP track. Black Blizzard we're going to talk about, and we're just going to start talking about it. I don't know why I'm fucking mentioning the songs we're going to talk about. Let's talk about it. Saucy was an okay track. It's about drinking. Has a supervillains feel to it. They actually mention supervillains in the track, so it's definitely an unofficial, maybe official supervillains track. Who knows? Something Underground is actually kind of funny to listen to. It was a song that Jay made because he was listening to, I think it was Hatchet Radio was the name of it. He made that track hoping they would play it, and they never played it. Bloody, in the book, it actually says that Bloody is a brand new track. I like it. I think it's cool. It has like a classic 50s, 60s, you know, you could go to a dance like in the movie Carrie. This would be a song that they could play at it. Bloody in my darkest room. So dark. It was catchy. I like it. The original Chop Chop mix, I like a lot. Now, I'm not a big fan of remixes. I've mentioned this many times before, but I actually like this version as equally as the one on Beverly Hills. Now, I like the one on Beverly Hills because it has a cartoon, carnival kind of beat to it that makes that track fun. This one is a completely different sound to it, and actually, there's more verses, or there's an extra verse from Violent J on this. There is no Isham in this one. It's just purely Violent J through the whole song, and it has a very different feel. Hey, it's the wicked jokers, and we coming to the valley of the smoke, yeah. So I like it. It made it almost like a different song, because the only thing about this that was the same as the original was the first verse. The Tour Bus track I like quite a bit. I don't really care for the chorus, but the track itself was pretty fresh. Dirty and Stinkin' has a great feel to it, being a rock remix. I thought they did well with that. The Fuck Them track I actually liked when I listened to it about a month and a half ago, maybe it was. I looked it up on YouTube. I like it quite a bit. One little thing I want to point out for you guys, this right here, Violent J and Shaggy's verse, you can actually hear on the DJ Clay Book of the Wicked Chapter 2 mixtape, the track Who Is It? Those verses were used in that track. So the No Drama track featuring Rude Boy I actually like quite a bit. I don't know why I never looked it up when they released it earlier this year, but I never did. I think it's good. I know in here Violent J mentions it being a failure in comparison to the Mom song, which was kind of the inspiration of why they did No Drama, going for another classic Rude Boy and Violent J track like the Mom song. I like it. I like it quite a bit. It's catchy. I sing it. When I listen to it, I sing it. So, Black Blizzard. This is actually, Black Blizzard's supposed to be the new track that they're going to be putting out on the 20th anniversary for Great Malenko, the bonus disc that comes with it. This is supposed to be a brand new track that they did with Cheap Trick. I'm not really sure why they gave it away here. The track itself, I like. I do not like the chorus. You know, I was when I saw that they did a song with Cheap Trick, I was like, oh yeah, that'll probably turn out to be a really great song. But I was also used to hearing the opening theme from that 70s show that they did. You know, you guys remember that show, right? Yeah, I was expecting something like that. Instead, I got this. So, yeah, I was very let down with Cheap Trick's contribution to this track. Otherwise, I think it is a dope song. I just feel like the fucking chorus is lacking. Drinking and Driving, I do not like. It didn't strike well with me. Didn't care for it at all. The Swinging Hatchets featuring Two Live Crew is actually really fucking good. I like that fucking beat a lot. Jay's Rock Track. Jay's Rock Track was actually a song that they did. Like, apparently what they did, they recorded it, they mixed it, everything, pressed it up, and they gave it away to one person at the gathering. I have no idea what gathering this was. If you do, comment down below. I'll pin your comment so everybody can know when that was released. But they gave it away at the seminar at one of the gatherings, and the guy who won this CD, the only person to ever hear it, the only person to own it, went home and put it on the internet. Apparently when they pressed it up, they didn't even save the song. They re-ripped the song off the internet for this disc right here. So whoever did that, you fucked up. But on the same hand, I guess you didn't, because I think it's a pretty interesting track to listen to. It was Violent J's take on a Pearl Jam song. I do not like Pearl Jam at all, so I'm not even. It says in the book what Pearl Jam song, but I'm just not even going to mention it because I don't like Pearl Jam. So, but this track right here wasn't bad. I enjoyed it for what they were meaning for. So the Train. The thing about the Train is I had never heard of this song. Didn't even think it existed. Okay, me and Megs first got together. She was blown away by all the CDs I had. She was blown away by the knowledge I had of ICP. And she asked me, I think she meant to do it kind of as a quiz, but I think she was genuinely curious as well what album The Train was off of. And I looked right at her. I said, that doesn't exist. I said, they don't have a track called The Train. She said, yes, they do. I said, no, they don't. And after going back and forth, she looked it up, played it for me. I'm like, I'll be goddamned. I was like, honestly, I don't know. Now, at the time, I didn't have a lot of ABK CDs, so I just kind of assumed maybe it was an old school ABK track that they had did. But, yeah, I didn't know it existed. She actually introduced me to some new ICP, so it was something they gave away on the internet a long time ago, I guess. So, it's not a bad track at all. I don't care for the chorus of The Train, but I do think it's a good track. I like the concept that they have. Cream Fillin' is kind of a short and sweet little track. Basically, it sums it up right there. It's talking about fucking a girl and giving her your cream filling. Who doesn't love a good cream pie, right? Moving on. What's hilarious, too, is the way it ends is like, and it goes right into the JJ song. So it's like, yeah, you fill a girl with your cream filling, and you're going to end up with a JJ and a Ruby song. So the JJ and Ruby song, I have been waiting for this moment. I love both tracks a lot. And in here they mentioned people wanting them to put it on some kind of a CD. I was one of those people. I wanted a physical form of these two tracks. The Ruby song is, they used the instrumental from the Verve Pipe's Bittersweet Symphony, which was a song I loved before hearing Ruby's song, so when they used that instrumental, I loved it a lot. I know they kind of auto-tuned Sugar Slam in the chorus, but I still like it. I think it's a great song. They're both great songs, and they make me think about having kids of my own. So, and they slapped the Hurricane of Diamonds on here just to close it out, the new track that was released earlier this year, which is a dope song as well. So let's jump on into the inside. There is that disc there. Like I said, guys, this is Forgotten Freshness all the way. I don't know why they put it out like this, and I'm kind of hoping maybe this was like an exclusive rough draft version of it, and maybe they're going to put out Forgotten Freshness 6 with these track listings, maybe editing a few, because I feel like Knock Knock definitely doesn't need to be on this disc. I don't know, personally, I think the rough draft tracks from Violent J's Shining could easily just get ripped off, and I kind of feel like they should have left Black Blizzard off. They really should have. I feel they kind of ruined it a little bit. They ruined the specialness of the track that was supposed to be for the Malenko celebration by putting it on here. That's just personally how I feel. I feel like they could easily take those few tracks off. They could add 6 Foot, 7 Foot. They could add the No Type remake that they did earlier this year. It was kind of a crappy song, but it was fresh all in the same token, so that would be an acceptable track to put on here. And I feel like there was another one that I was going to mention that they should have put on here. Oh, yes. If We Were a Gang. Put those 3 songs on here, as well as the Gatekeeper off of the Rough Draft Shining. You know, get rid of Knock Knock. Put Gatekeeper in its place. Put those other additional tracks. Maybe bring the track listing up to 17 tracks per disc. Call it a fucking Forgotten Freshness Volume 6 and 7. Put that bitch out. And there you go. I would buy it. I would buy it even having this. I would buy a Forgotten Freshness Volume 6. Even if I had the exact same track list. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, I'm not. Because I'm serious. I feel like this title is fresh in its own way, but on the same hand, it's kind of stale. It's a mouthful, man. If you're gonna mention what CD you're listening to, oh, I'm listening to the incredible Collectible collection. So again, this is Forgotten Freshness. You know, he gives a little bio about each of the tracks in here. This is Forgotten Freshness. This is Forgotten Freshness. That's just how I personally feel. They make decisions and business moves that I'm kind of like, I scratch my head like a lot of people do. This is one of them. I'm scratching my head like, you know, why was this not a Forgotten Freshness? And, you know, the Juggalos at the Gathering got a first chance to grab it, and then everybody else got it like a month or 2 later or whatever. But one thing I got to bring up, because it is something people are talking about, when Violent J is talking about Knock Knock at the very end, okay? This I will read to you. The rest of it, I will, after we get done here, I'll put it all in frame if you guys want to pause it and read it yourself. But towards the end of this, he thinks, basically he's talking about the track and how he feels like it's a great concept, but they didn't quite deliver like they should have. Oh, that's the other thing I got to mention is right in here, Violent J mentions that they gave away the rough draft of The Shining at the 2011 Gathering. It was actually the 2008, and he does mention it a couple times on some of the other tracks. So, anyway, back to what we were talking about. Good God. ADD much? Or ADHD much? Anyway, he says, I think this concept could make a really cool song if it's done correctly with the proper mindset. Don't be surprised if something similar to this pops up on some future Freshness, each F with 3 Fs. So this is a topic idea I have because it sparked something inside me. So at the end of this video will be an unlisted video where I'm going to be talking about the next Joker's card and what can we possibly expect. So guys can go check that out. Probably at some point that video will become public, but I'm just kind of testing to see who actually makes it this far into my reviews and is actually going to go click that link. But we're going to put all this in frame for you guys. Hopefully get my fat ass thumb out of the way. I can't do much about that CD one. It's hard as fuck for me to read even, so I will just kind of put everything in frame and hope my camera stays focused enough that you guys can pause this and read through it if you want to. There's a lot here. Dirty and stinking. Hope I'm not just wasting my time and y'all can read this shit. Oh shit. Flip it. So there you go. Of course, this album is dedicated to the butterfly like most albums are. Yes, I said most, not all are dedicated to the butterfly. Another future video idea that I've been sitting on for months and months and months and months and months and months. Anyway, there you guys go. That is the incredible Collectible collection. Hopefully either this exact release comes out in some other release in the future, or it makes its way into a Forgotten Freshness release. I think it's a dope collection. Personally, I would have taken a few songs off, put some different ones on there so that they had a physical release. But it is what it is. They're the ones that make these decisions. This is the way they decided to do it. So there you guys go. That is my review. I think it's fucking dope. It fits right in with all the Forgotten Freshnesses. And in my mind, it is a Forgotten Freshness. So thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys next time. If you guys find this on eBay for a decent price, I would recommend picking it up. Don't go spending an arm and a leg for it. But if you can get it for easily under 50, go for it. It's worth it. So See you guys next time.